Okay, folks, since today we're going to be talking about March Madness Cinderella stories, I have a very serious and very important question for you. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
It's a tough question.
Yeah, mine isn't a princess. I guess Little Mermaid Ariel was a princess,
That's
right?
such a good answer.
Yeah.
I think Mulan is my favorite Disney princess.
I'm with that. I'm a Pocahontas girly.
Pocahontas is great.
My sister used to have all those Disney movies. Shout out to the Boosters back in the day. My dad would come in with like a hot Disney movie every week.
Barbershop.
From the barbershop.
At the barbershop.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You didn't pay for this, but thank you.
They literally would go into the theater and record it.
Oh, yeah.
You could see people walking through.
Yeah. Oh, look, this is the good part right here.
If you were a fan of a bad NBA team and you're scouting some talent during this tournament, who are the big potential future NBA stars?
Yeah, normally the list would be like maybe 4 or 5 names. It's like the entire tournament this year. If you're a bad team and you don't end up getting the top 5 pick, it's okay because this freshman class is maybe the best we've ever seen.
Guys, today we're talking basketball.
Come on.
There you go. Thank you for the ad-libs. I appreciate it. From the NBA to March Madness to pro women's hoops, we're going to cover it all. So I really hope your tank is full.
Ooh, tank.
Any guesses where we're going to start? Because that was a little bit of a hint, by the way.
I think we're getting ready to bitch about the NBA.
Yes. We're going to be talking about tanking in the NBA, one of the most controversial strategies in sports. So we want to know, is losing on purpose actually a path to winning? We're going to break down which teams are racing to the bottom and whether it's all worth it for that top lottery pick. Then we're going to dive into how Angel Reese has become a multi-million-dollar mogul at just 23 years old. We're going to talk endorsements, investments, viral moments, and how she's reinventing the playbook on what it means to be an athlete in 2026. Finally, March Madness, baby, right around the corner. So let's get mad, y'all. Brackets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella stories. It's the best month in sports, and we're going to get you ready. All right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Couldn't be more ready.
Get into it. One of the hottest topics of the NBA right now, tanking. And that's when the team realizes they ain't gonna make the playoffs. They're not good enough. And so now they're realizing, we should probably start losing on purpose. Why? Well, we have our old friend John Hollinger coming back on the show to help explain it to us. Welcome back, John.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You know, in 2018, when I was working for the Grizzlies, we got to the 50-game mark. We were 18-31, actually. And we decided, this draft's looking pretty good. Our team is not. Let's try to get some L's here.
Yeah.
So we got 29 L's in our last 33 games and ended up with the 2nd worst record in the league. Got the 4th pick in the draft, selected Jaren Jackson Jr.
Wow.
And there we were.
Worked out.
I was gonna ask you, why do teams tank? Why would they purposely lose games? But you just laid it out.
The way the NBA draft is set up and the way that a single player can have such an outsized impact on a franchise, the ability to potentially either win the lottery or at least end up in the top, 3 to 5 picks, the incentive to do that is just so much stronger than to just get a couple extra wins just so your fans can be momentarily happy.
Why does Adam Silver seemingly care in a more public way now than he has over the last few years?
Because it's much more severe this year. And the reason is because you have competition. You have 8 teams that are basically punting on the season right now. So on any given night in the NBA, those 8 teams all have an opponent. That's half the schedule that is just tank games that are, bright red, do not watch this.
What was that call like? There was a call with the GMs in which this was addressed. Heard he sounded a little bit like his predecessor, David Stern?
That is the word, yes. Riled up. Definitely as the one exec told me, as fired up as he has ever come across. If you see Adam Silver in his press conferences, and that's the way he tends to be in private too, very kind of collegial, not too high, not too low. This apparently was not like that.
Is it because of how it's being done? You mentioned when you guys did it, sometimes it's throwing as many young players on the court and understand that you're going to take losses. We've seen Utah bench players with leads in the 4th quarter. Is it how it's happening that's so
It's everything everywhere all at once, right? Like they're benching guys in some games, yes. They are preemptively declaring guys injured, even when they might not be. I mean, Trae Young played for 3 weeks in Atlanta and then got traded to Washington, and we haven't seen him
Right.
since he got to the Wizards. He didn't get injured on the flight. So
This is going from being something that we complain about to something that feels actionable for the first time. You wrote about some of the solutions, some of the proposed solutions of how we can start chipping away at this. One of them came from your brother-in-law, which I'm not sure if he's an
Family
NBA
tie.
expert, but explain like what his thought was about maybe one of these things we could try to dampen this problem a bit.
yeah, shout out my brother-in-law, Jay Lansky. He watches a lot of European soccer. And what he told me is that there's a couple leagues, like in Scotland and Switzerland, where they will play 2/3 of the season with the regular schedule, and then they'll split the league after that. The top 20 teams only play each other. Bottom 10 teams only play each other. Now, you could have the bottom 10 teams only play each other and say, you have to win these games if you want the highest draft pick. And in the meantime, you don't have these terrible teams messing up the rest of the schedule. You have all these great games. It's almost like the bubble when we didn't invite the bad teams, right?
Yeah.
And just had a good game every single night.
I like what your brother-in-law had in mind. And I know that you and some of the best minds of The Athletic came together to try and think about how to stop this. Literally an article published this week. Our ideas to stop or slow NBA tanking. Love the title. So if you watch our show every week, and I assume you do, you know we love games. So what we want to do is play a little game. You tell us each of the ideas that you and your colleagues have, and we're going to judge them. And we'll see who has the best chance with success.
All right. So first one, my colleague David Aldridge wants to abolish the draft.
Yeah, David.
We talked a little about that.
You're biased?
When I was
Okay.
here before. You can do this a bunch of different ways. His proposal was you have kind of a national signing day, and that replaces pomp and circumstance of the draft. And
Which I like a lot.
players, players would be free to go where they want. And his argument, and I think it tracks, is that they wouldn't all just go to New York and LA because they only have so many roster spots, so many minutes and whatnot.
Only one basketball.
Exactly. So some guys would go there, some guys would go other places, and the talent would get spread around the league that way. Right.
Okay, idea number 1, abolishing the draft. Noted. Next.
Fred Katz from The Athletic wants to impose restrictions on teams who violate the player participation policy, which is the league's rule that basically you have to play your players, which Indiana got fined for violating when they sat out All-Star Pascal Siakam in a recent game. And his argument was that fining isn't enough, that when you start saying, okay, you violated a second, third time, now you can't win the lottery, now you can't pick in the top 4, that really starts to hit teams where it hurts. That was his argument.
Okay, I like that. So second one is punishing folks, kind of like the second April punishes folks.
Yeah.
But you get to a certain level, okay, I like this. Tell us what's the next idea.
Sam Vecini from The Athletic wants to pay the bad teams, basically. Put 10% of basketball-related income into a pot, and they earn it based on how much they won toward the end of the year. And it would be split between the team and the players. So you incentivize them that way, kind of almost like the in-season tournament, right? Yeah. Where the extra cash get split among the players. Has been some kind of incentive for these guys.
Okay, interesting. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I
got questions about
I don't
that.
like rewarding losers.
Okay.
Sam also proposed demolishing the lottery, just going purely on wins and losses as part of this.
All right. So now,
I'm cool with
where do you stand on this? What's your thought?
My idea was that you draft your draft pick, basically. That you select from the other 29 teams which team's record you want to have, in reverse order, so that it's almost like you're a trader and you're shorting another team's stock.
Yeah.
And their win-loss record determines where you pick in the draft. So they don't have an incentive to tank. You don't have an incentive to tank.
But you're
Disrespect.
I know. It's basically like you're assuming.
Exactly.
It would make for great television. And I think that's one of the solutions. Abolishing the draft is good TV. And so we need a good TV
Yeah.
solution.
So we have to vote on one of these strategies. We got abolishing the draft, implementing lottery pick like restrictions, or penalties, I would say, and then draft your draft pick and
Paying teams.
paying
the bad
crappy teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of drafting a draft pick.
I like that one too.
It sets up drama. It makes it awkward. But also it does remove the incentive to lose because now you want to prove other people more that you could win.
I'm all for abolishing the draft. You know, I across the board in all sports to me. Like I think it's the most un-American thing we do in sports is forcing a 20-year-old to go somewhere that they don't want to live.
Oh, yeah.
Play basketball or play football or play baseball.
And the intrigue would be so cool. Like, just like think about the lead up and just like all the stories and how much juice you get out of the news cycle.
How about you have to improve your organization as well?
What do we think Adam Silver will do? Let's fast forward 5 years from now. What do you think the NBA is actually going to do?
Something much less dramatic than any of the things we've talked about.
Right.
So the thing that I guarantee will happen is that they won't let you do protected picks between 4 and 14. But I think they've realized this year that that isn't enough. So I think there's going to be some kind of modification where they either say, we're going to cut things off at the trade deadline, or they're going to do something where they say, we'll count your losses up to the trade deadline, and after that, we'll count your wins somehow. But incentivizing actually winning late in the season for these teams. Some of the stuff we've talked about is irrevocable, and I don't think the league wants to go down that road.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, John.
thank you for having me on the show.
Next, we're going to learn about someone who's been a star in the WNBA, setting and breaking records her rookie year, then went on and won a title in Unrivaled, Defensive Player of the Year as well. And she got a lot of attention in college and won a national title there too. This is Angel Reese. Somehow, basketball is just one piece of her larger story, and there's someone that knows a lot about the larger story that we've invited to talk to us about it today. NBA writer for The Athletic, Shakeia Taylor, welcome to The Athletic Show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you wrote a tremendous feature on Angel recently for The Athletic, and you know a lot about her. But for some of the people who don't know who she is, introduce them to her and talk a little bit about why you wanted to do such a deep dive.
Angel Reese was a McDonald's All-American. She was a star at Maryland, then a star at LSU. Then they went on to win the NCAA championship in 2023. She is very famously known for doing the John Cena "You Can't See Me" in response to Caitlin Clark doing it originally. She received a ton of criticism for that, pointing to her ring finger, but she was a winner. Then she went on to be drafted by the Chicago Sky, 7th overall pick, and we haven't stopped hearing about her since. Since she's gone pro, she's broken records. She's, constantly in the news cycle. We hear about people, whether you like her or you don't like her, you're hearing about her. She's in TV shows. She's in movies. The list of things that Angel is doing is kind of endless. She's everywhere. And on the court, right, she's improving her game quite a bit. She's one of the best rebounders in the WNBA and Unrivaled. Unrivaled is a new pro women's basketball league. It's 3-on-3. It runs in the WNBA off season. So I think there's just way too many things to mention when it comes to how she's changed over the time she's been in the league.
Agreed. I like Gala too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the definition of pop culture. Art, fashion, we've seen her at boxing matches. She's everywhere.
There was a lot of talk about the me-bounds early on in her career and still is, right? How has that affected her? And also how has she grown from that kind of, interaction, social media-wise?
I like to refer to Angel turns her mess into a message every time, right? Somebody says something negative about her, like me-bounds. Oh, she's just getting her own rebounds, which... what is a rebound, right? She's just getting her own rebounds. And she takes that and records a TikTok where she's joking about it.
Whoever came up with the me-bounds thing, y'all ate that up. Because rebounds, me-bounds, rebounds, key-bounds, T-bounds, T-bounds, anything that comes off that board, it's mine. It's mine.
And the next thing you know, in a weekend, it's trademarked. There's merchandise. There's things to buy. It sells out in the $6-figure dollar amount.
Crazy.
I almost would stop talking trash about her at this point. I didn't like her,
You don't benefit.
Right, because she's going to turn it into some monetary gain.
When someone like this, the breadth of the things she's interested in, the things she's doing, I always try to find what's the through line? What's the driving force behind this? And with her, it seems like it's whatever I want, right? It's whatever interests me. So just try to contextualize the ambition that she has. How would you describe it? What is the driving force behind how it's focused?
She just wants to elevate women and do things that are related to, just being a girl, honestly. If you notice, a lot of her merchandise is pink. She talks about pink all the time. She wears pink. She's really into like the Y2K era, which is really interesting for someone who was not even...
The fact that we're having nostalgia about that now and it's a thing makes me feel like I'm an old man.
Right?
It's a thing, though.
She brought back juicy tracksuits.
Yeah.
You know?
And she dresses like a person in Extra and Clueless at all
Yes,
times.
at
yeah.
all
In and of itself.
times.
Yeah.
The anecdote that stuck out to me, she watches a show called Hunting Wives that she enjoys. She tweets at the creator and then she's on the next season. Like, I love people that are just pushing it. Like, what else can I get because of how much power I have? And she really does seem like one of those people.
She actually makes me feel like I should speak more
It's exactly.
Yes.
about what I want to
Yes.
do.
Just go after it.
Right.
Because maybe you can get it. She's doing that over and over again.
Everything she posts, everything she says she wants to do, she's gone back and like found her old posts where she, you know, said she wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model. And here she is doing it, right? Like, and we're kind of taught to keep things to yourself until they happen, right? Don't announce the play, all that. And Angel's like, no, here's what I want to be. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to do it. She won't make $100,000 at all on her rookie contract in the WNBA. Yet her value is in the millions, right? We're talking about almost $10 million, almost made entirely off the court.
She has millions of subscribers across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, her podcast. Like
5 million on Instagram.
5 million.
Massive
That's
following.
huge. 6 million on TikTok. She used to be on TikTok like with her friends hanging out, ordering fast food. Like, oh, you about to get Wingstop or you about to get so-so. Gets the McDonald's deal. Like, it is just literally an authentic connection to who she is, exactly as you mentioned. It makes sense why her podcast is literally Unapologetically Angel. But everything seems really intelligently calculated to figure out a way to get her on a platform.
She also seems to project a ton of confidence. Anyone who can face the level of negativity that she does just on an everyday basis and then turn around and still manage to be successful, it's clear she either has a phenomenal support system or she is really doing a great job faking it. Like, just, those are the only two things that you can do in that situation.
I do want to quickly touch on 9.4 million is what you estimated her portfolio to be worth, which is the most for a Black female basketball player. Is this something that we should be applauding? This is awesome, but looking towards the men, is this something that should be more of a starting point and we hope to grow?
I think it's both. I think everyone who loves women's sports or sports in general should be excited for the success of not just Angel, but other women athletes. Like, they are actually securing endorsement deals that we would have never seen just, 5-6 years ago even. I think it's changing the landscape of what investing in women athletes looks like. There used to always be conversation like, there are no beauty brands investing. Now there are. Now there's an entire league with Sephora referees, right? Like, I think like this is hopefully the beginning of things changing, of things getting better, of there being more money, not just from leagues, but from outside coming into women's sports.
Well, we can't wait to see what she does next. I'm just going to be looking at the X timeline to see what she manifests. Thank you so much for coming, Shakeia, and
Thanks
breaking
for
it down.
having me.
March Madness is almost upon us.
Get those brackets ready, huh?
Let's go, baby. We've asked college hoops writer Brendan Marks to come and join us, talk about it. Thank you. Welcome to the Athletic Show.
What's up, Brendan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, so you and I are going to split up responsibilities here, okay? You take on the men's college basketball side. I cover the women's basketball side on the No Off Season podcast. Make sure y'all are listening. So I'll handle that. But you start us off, Brendan. What are some of the most exciting storylines on the men's side that we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, I mean, I think college basketball, the actual product, is as fun as it's ever been. Scoring's at an all-time high. Tempo's at an all-time high. If you love offense, it's a good place to be right now. And then I think the fact that the biggest brands are as good as they've ever been. Yeah, talking about Florida has a chance to go back-to-back. They've done that about 20 years ago. They have a chance to do it again. UConn has a chance to win 3 out of 4. And then you've got other top teams. Arizona hasn't won it in decades. Duke. You have all these elite brands that are right at the top. They're surging. Should make for a really fun tournament.
We talked earlier in the show about how this is a year where it's worth it to tank because of the quality of this draft.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of a bad NBA team and you're scouting some talent during this tournament, who are the big name players we should be watching for that are potential future NBA stars?
Yeah, normally the list would be like maybe 4 or 5 names. It's like the entire tournament this year.
Music to my ears.
I mean, if you're a bad team and you don't end up getting the top 5 pick, it's okay because this freshman class is maybe the best we've ever seen.
Which is crazy because last year's freshman class has been really good.
It was cool. This year is
Yeah.
It was great, but this year's on a different level. It's not even close. You've got AJ DeBonza out at BYU. He looks like he could be the next Jason Tatum, basically.
Right.
You've got Darryn Peterson, when he plays at Kansas, has been tremendous. Cameron Boozer at Duke. Carlos, NBA fans, Chicago fans, obviously know his dad well. He might be the National Player of the Year this year. You've got Caleb Wilson at North Carolina. Darius Acuff at Arkansas. Nate Ament at Tennessee. I mean, on and on and on. It seems like every single week somebody's scoring 40, reinserting themselves into the conversation.
Don't forget Kingston and Houston, right?
Hey, absolutely.
Fleming.
Keaton Vogler at Illinois. I mean, we could do this all day.
It's an amazing.
We don't have all day.
So you mentioned Darryn Peterson, and I was shocked, like halfway through the non-conference and then into the conference season, that I read something where he had missed 9 games because of cramping. I'm like, this has got to be a typo. But now,
9 minutes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation around him. He said he's an antisocial loner. Like, what's happening with this young man?
It is the weirdest situation in college basketball in at least the last decade, maybe long. There's no comparison. There's no other situation like this. Darryn Peterson, when he plays, he's drawn comparisons to Donovan Mitchell, to Kobe Bryant. I mean, he's a really special talent. He has missed 9 games for cramping, hamstring issues. He had an ankle issue. About 2 weeks ago, Kansas was playing the #1 undefeated team in the country, Arizona. He's not on the injury report. And then 10 minutes before the game starts, oh no, he has the flu and he's not able to play. I mean, half the NBA was there to see him play. And so it's a situation without compare. And I think the reality is, you talk to people around the sport, there is something physical there. This is not a situation where the guy is just holding himself out so that he's protecting his draft stock. If he was doing that, he would have just stopped playing. He'd have shut it up and gone home. The fact that he is continuing to try to play proves that there is something there. But it is incredibly strange. And for Kansas, this is a team that could win the national championship with him. Right. Without him, it's a team that could flame out in the first round. So when you're filling out your brackets, it's a team I have no idea what to do with. You could have them go all the way. You could have them flame out early. It's one of one, truly.
Wow. So wow.
Let's talk about the women's side of things. When you're thinking about the teams on the women's side that could potentially make a deep run, who are the first few that come to mind for you?
I mean, UConn, still undefeated, still wondering who could potentially beat them, led by Sarah Strong. That is literally the best player in the country. There's also AZ Fudd, who can shoot the lights out of the ball. That's alongside her. But then there's also UCLA, who's pretty freaking dominant right now. They've got 6 seniors that are amazing, led by Lauren Betts, 6'7" in the paint, of course, but they've got a whole bunch of folks right around that 5 of them might go in the first round in the WNBA.
Wow.
But they're not the best team in the country. UConn is. And of course, you've got South Carolina that's still in the mix. So those 3 are pretty much lock-ins. Things get a little bit shaky when you get to the 4th seed. You got Vandy that has Michaela Blakes, who in the month of February is putting up almost 33 points a game. Ridiculous. Then you got Texas, led by Rory Harmon, who is a defensive stopper, and Madison Booker, who, if you're more of a men's basketball player, she's been compared to Kevin Durant, who is also her idol, and she wears his number, can put the ball up mid-range, really, really good. They can't shoot for nothing, but that's okay. And then there's also Michigan, who's been playing incredibly well. Outside of the top 4, it's anyone's bracket.
So if you're trying to find a Cinderella in that group, in the larger field, if we're moving beyond the favorites, is there a team that, based on their makeup or just something that you've picked up on, that you think could make a deep run?
I would say the Big 12 is a weird 12. They're just, that conference is strange. But one thing you can count on is Olivia Miles, who can shoot, who can distribute, who leads this team with incredible force. I really think TCU could do some things and shake some things up in the tournament. So keep an eye on them.
I can't wait to drop the knowledge that you just gave. I'm sitting here I'm remembering everything you said word for word so I can steal it in the nuts.
Everybody loves Cinderella, though. I mean, you got to have a couple of good Cinderellas every year.
And that makes me think of a game that I want to play, because I love a good game. So let's put on our best Walt Disney caps and share our all-time favorite March Madness Cinderella stories. Brendan, as our guest, kick us off.
Yeah, I think for me, I start with the one that nobody thought would ever happen. What's that? 16-1 back in 2018. You had Virginia, not just the #1 seed, the #1 overall seed, the #1 team in the country. We had like 150 #1s versus #16s. 16 had never won. This is actually before I joined The Athletic. I was covering that game. I remember emailing with the editor. I was freelancing for the Baltimore Sun, which was the hometown paper of UMBC, Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yeah.
And he's telling me, we just need 250 words right at the buzzer. Nothing fancy, nothing too crazy.
Just lock it in.
And,
Historic.
and at halftime, I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this? So I emailed him and I said, hey,
Might need 500.
This might happen.
Right.
And he said, do whatever, we'll take it, we'll pay you whatever. So, but that one is the one that I'll never be able to forget.
And the only number 16 seed to ever upset a number 1 seed on the women's side, Harvard in 1998 upset Stanford, Tara Vanderveer Stanford. You know who led that team? Allison Feaster. Right. Do you know who her daughter is? Sarah Strong.
Oh, wow.
All right. You brought it all back.
Pretty good.
Okay, let's keep it going. I'll go next. VCU Rams 2011. Shaka Smart.
I love that team.
The Havoc defense. I mean, it was insane. I remember everyone wanting to be a 5'10" point guard like Joey Rodriguez. Like we were like, okay.
Some of us didn't have that choice.
Right. You could be that as well.
Right.
You could be that.
Fair. That's fair. Okay, Robert, your turn.
Mine goes back to when I was probably the biggest college basketball fan I ever was with high school, 2005, 2006. That 2006 George Mason team, like they were in 11th seed, they were in the Final Four.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I can't wait. Tell me why.
Jai Lewis. I love Jai Lewis. Like as a chunky power forward, Jai Lewis was everything that I needed in a basketball player.
This is why. I'm glad you mentioned that George Mason thing, because George Mason was the team that turned me off from Cinderellas. All right?
They were the first one.
They were the first big one.
They really started it off.
So for me, it was Davidson and Steph Curry run.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Introduced Steph.
That's a good one.
And, everybody, this is not going to be able to happen on the NBA level. He's too small. All he did was torch everyone in that tournament. I think he went for 42, 33, and 30 in that tournament. But for me, the Cinderellas ruined the tournament for me. Now hear me out.
Hot take.
Hear me out.
I get where he's coming from.
Cinderellas, you can win a game, but if we start getting to the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight, I'm sorry.
Now you're not seeing the teams you want to see.
I don't tune in on a Saturday in February to watch Coppin State. I don't tune in to watch St. Peter's. And it's usually coached by a dude who's not going to be there after this run. So, like, we remember a name like Jai Lewis, but then they get there, and then first of all, they eliminate pros, usually. So, Cinderellas usually get the best teams out here, obviously, like 10th seed or lower. But I'm here. This ain't no amateur talent show. I'm here to see the best players and the best teams.
I can't remember what it is. If you look at Jai Lewis's Wikipedia page, which I did this week, obviously, in preparation.
Of course, yeah.
He's doing some very nondescript corporate job, and it's in the second sentence of his Wikipedia entry. It's like he's like an insurance overseer now of some
When I lived in Atlanta, I went to go purchase a car at a local dealership, and I walk in, and it was a guy from a Georgia Tech team that made a decent run, and I got to sit here and look him in the face as if, like it didn't work out.
Right. I had no idea this was coming for you.
Right, exactly. Like I'm making a purchase on a car and he's sitting there selling it to me for finance. And I'm like, didn't I just see you lock up a professional like 7 years ago? But this is what it is, man. Shout out to all the Cinderellas out there, but I like it when the models come in. Like Cinderella, she got to go home at some point. I like
Guess what, though? The structure of college basketball and just how college basketball operates, you may be in luck because we may be running out of Cinderellas.
Yeah, so fortunately for you, this is a trend that has taken on really quickly the last couple of years. Obviously, everybody knows the transfer portal, NIL, college sports have changed dramatically. There's this nerdy stat I like, indulge me for like 10 seconds. So
I'm with you.
In the past, the line of demarcation for what's considered an elite team has been when a team has outscored their opponents by 30 points per 100 possessions, okay? Most years, we don't even get one of those teams. So you think back to like 2023 when UConn won its first title under Dan Hurley, there was not a single team in the country that hit that 30 sort of barometer, okay? In 2024, there were 3 teams, and UConn and Purdue, 2 of them, made it to the national championship game. Last year, there were 6 of those teams. All 4 of them made the Final Four. This year we have 8 of those teams, which is more than we've had at any point in the last 30 years. And so because of the transfer portal, because of NIL, what we're seeing is that these top teams are just consolidating talent to an untold degree. And so you might see a Cinderella win a game or 2, but you're probably not going to see many of these George Mason.
Look how happy he is.
He's absolutely grinning.
Yeah.
You know what it is too? Grown-ups.
That too.
Are on these teams. Like these coaches are going out and getting 21-year-olds from this transfer.
24-year-olds. 24-year-olds,
Exactly.
yeah.
So there's a different level of strength as opposed to a freshman phenom. It's a different world we're living in.
Brendan, thank you for making our dreams come true and coming to join and talk to us about college basketball.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
Appreciate you.
All right, Cinderellas, you can leave now. The real game starts. Hope you've been paying attention in the sports world this week because it's time for LFG. Learning feels good.
Ooh, yes, it does.
You know the drill. I throw out a number, you connect it to the answer, and you guys think you can handle this, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
We've been doing this long.
Yeah.
Let's get it started.
We're pros.
Let's
We're
get it
seasoned.
started. All right, the number is 16. Is it A, how many times President Donald Trump said the word boys when talking to the U.S. men's hockey team after they won Olympic gold? A lot of boys. B, the number of Victor Wembanyama trading cards inscribed with both his autograph and his signature alien doodle that he does that have sold for over $100,000 each at public auctions. Is it C, how many screws were used to rebuild Lindsey Vogn's leg during a 6-hour surgery following her Olympic crash? D, the number of consecutive years 70-year-old Bucks legend Marcus Johnson and father of Josiah Johnson has dunked a basketball on his birthday.
Josiah Johnson, great memes. I'm gonna say C.
I'm also going to say C.
I feel like
It's pretty specific to know how many screws Lindsey Vonn had put.
But I think it was such a gruesome injury that they would
Yeah.
publicize the amount of screws. There's been a lot of interest in it. So I think that's why it's my guess.
Yeah.
That sounds like right. Like,
That's
you got
exactly why.
16
That's
screws
exactly
and-
what I
yeah,
thought.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably small screws. I'm not a doctor.
Thank you for that.
Just wanted to let you know.
Appreciate that.
I'm not a
If you
doctor.
guys were curious.
All right, the answer is D. The number of consecutive years, and I watch this every single year, by
If
the
it
way.
comes across my timeline, I'm 100% in.
I watch it
100%
every
in.
single year, and he actually gets a dunk off. He's been posting this annually on his birthday, starting when he turned 55 in 2011. Marcus was at home watching rookie Blake Griffin jump over a car when the dunk contest jumped the shark. Actually, he thought it would be fun to attempt it himself. I mean, after all, he was a 5-time All-Star. He grabbed his
That's crazy.
headed over to the local gym, right, where he leaped over 2 toy Matchbox.
All right, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh, not real. Okay,
jumping
yeah.
over cars.
55-year-olds jumping over
All
cars.
right.
Just this week, he posted his latest birthday dunk, claiming it was his last one. I don't believe it because he's still doing it and he's doing it well. So I want to know from you guys, what's something that you love doing that you can hope to still be doing when you're 70 that we can air?
All of my activities are mostly couch bound anyway, so I assume I'll still be able to do them.
I just want to.
I live the life of a 70-year-old man now.
For me, it's hooping. Like I try to hoop every Saturday morning. There's an old guy that we hoop against, and he's out there throwing elbows, knocking down jump shots. He's got to be in his upper 70s.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I hope to be hooping still at 70.
Yeah, I just hope to still be here. That's just the blessing for me.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's going to be our show for this week. Shout out to John Hollinger, Shakeia Taylor, and Brendan Marks for coming to join us, hanging out with us. They were amazing, taught us a lot as well. Remember, you can catch new episodes of The Athletic Show where you can also learn a lot every Saturday, first on Fire TV. And then make sure you head on over to theathletic.com for more of the world's best sports journalism. That's going to do it for us, y'all. See you next time.